speaking of another arch rival, now it's time for our featured story of the night. All right, I want to talk about Stranger Things, there's a big arch rival between Vecna and 11, right? But I'm not talking about the series right now. I am, but I'm not. I'm talking about the play. That's right, you're like, a play? They are creating a play based off Stranger Things. The Duffer Brothers, who are apparently, in the chat we talked about this, they're like my age, which I'm like, fuck my life. But anyways, the Duffer Brothers, are making a play about Stranger Things. Now, it's a prequel play, they say, will be canon. It will tie into the whole thing, and it deals with a young Hawkins, pretty much. 1959, a regular town with regular worries. Young Jim Hopper's car won't start. Bob Newby's sister won't take his radio show seriously, and Joyce Maladoni, who wants to graduate and get the hell out of the town, won't do it. When a new student, Henry Creel, arrives, his family finds that a fresh start isn't so easy, and the shadows of the past have a very long reach. Okay, so it's very obscure. It's called The First Shadow. It's going to be actually opening in London initially, and then they're going to go from there. They say there's an opportunity they might actually film the whole thing and bring it out into a streaming platform. They haven't decided what streaming platform yet, but that's the idea. But the Duffer Brothers are helping write it. The Duffer Brothers are helping write it. It's going to start in the spring, apparently. But they're going to bring the Duffer Brothers, the whole team from Stranger Things are coming to make this happen. And they're going to bring this together to make a whole new dimension, a gripping new adventure that will be right back to the beginning of the Stranger Things story and may hold the key to the very end. So, hell no, Lexi says. The question is, so this is coming out, and I talked to Mike about this. I want to go to Mike for a second, too. I'm like, Mike, how do you have a prequel to the show when there was no 11, there was no, door to the Upside Down until the first season? How do you have a prequel?
Not that we were aware of, I guess.
How does this work?
Spooky things going on back in Erie, Indiana, back in the 50s when Hopper was just a little Hopper. I don't know, man. I don't know how they're going to do it. Yeah. Knee high to a grasshopper. Bring it to the stage though. I'm excited about it. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Like they're creative people though, and I don't think the Duffers are short of ideas. Just in general, I think that they can come up with ideas that people are capable of working with. So I think that they probably have a solid seed. I really have no speculation on what it possibly could be.
Yeah,
but I think they can do it, and I'd see it.
And that's the thing.
I think that spookiness actually comes across really, really well on stage. I think there have been some stage adaptations of Stephen King things, and you can do a locked room, or if you only have a few locations that you can really use, and then some smoke effects, maybe some big rubber tentacles on poles that you're bringing out from the edge of the stage. I think you can go a long way with that.
I think they should make it a musical, right?
Jesus Christ.
Look at the Evil Dead musical. One of my favorite songs. I've never seen the Evil Dead musical, but one of my favorite songs is it goes dun 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 dun. What the fuck was that? But anyways, but this is not a musical, as what they're saying. But for me, I'm like, how do you do this? Again, how do you make this a stage adaptation? Like Mike said, maybe you can figure it out. But if there's no, the beginning's already there. I don't know. Unless it was going to be about different characters, maybe it was going to be about, somebody in the lab before, not about the actual, Hawkins. To me, it seems like they could do a different area. Maybe it could be in Germany. Maybe it could be a different place in the world where a different gateway opened up, not Hawkins. It doesn't.
Yeah, they confirmed that Hopper was going to be in it, though, right?
Yeah,
so
they did.
Yeah, so
100%.
Hawkins.
Young Hopper.
Yeah, young Hopper.
And young Rudy. Rudy, who's Rudy? What's his real name?
You're talking about Rudy. You're talking about Frodo. No, I mean,
Rudy.
Not
Frodo. Yeah, not
Samwise.
Frodo. Samwise Gamgee. That guy.
Oh, Gamgee, you knew his last name, did you? Sounds a little nerdy, Sabrina.
Sounds a little nerdy.
I have a brain. Doesn't mean I'm a nerd. And I am a nerd, just not in the same way you are. We're different types of nerds.
Sabrina, do
You're
you
a
think this will
fantasy
work?
nerd. And,
Is this something you would watch and is something you want, or do you think they should leave it alone, and just do season 5 and be done with the franchise?
Lexi, that's amazing. You worked on Evil Dead. We're gonna have to. I have so many questions. We're gonna when you're on next, we're gonna have a seriously long conversation about this. I like how I put the "Lee" as a separate word, but that's happening. I no. I'm with Lexi on the no. I feel like it's such a grand show, and a lot of it relies on graphics and CG and fucking all these things that you cannot possibly do on stage. Mike, again, I hate to disagree with you for the 20th time today. But I just feel like it's so. I mean, I'm not saying it can't be good, and I hope that it is, but just in my mind, the expectation of Stranger Things is so heavily based on the Upside Down. And the Upside Down is so fucking real when you look at it. Like, how do you do that on stage? And Brian, to answer your question from
fog machines.
earlier, how do you do
Just a
you can
shit
put
ton of
100 fog machines, but like I don't really think that that's gonna like
Fog
do it,
machines
you know?
and like fake snow.
You're
There
looking
you
at
go.
this
Upside
weird-
down.
but-
Gels on the
I mean,
light.
how do you like stick someone into a tree like weirdly in between scenes? Like, I mean, it
Yeah.
just doesn't seem like it lends itself to a time constraint of a play.
Look at the drive-through show they have in LA of the Upside Down, the Stranger
that's
Things
amazing, but that's
immersive
different.
experience.
They have all those projections on the wall and this and that. And honestly, to be fair, when we got to the end and they were running around on the fucking stage, that was the least effective or exciting part of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it really was.
The
Yeah,
rest
but
of it
that's
was way fucking cooler. Where the TV things were, and there were people like you were sitting there in the car, and all of a sudden someone would jump up and tap on your window, and you're like, Jesus fuck, like not like that was the cool shit.
all in
When
a
you got
parking
to
garage.
the end, and it was like this weird, like presentation where there were like 7-Elevens, and oh, that's funny.
7-Elevens.
7-Elevens, like the character 11, and 7 of the other,
Not
like
7 convenience stores.
Correct. There were a bunch of them, like of each of them, and I feel like that was the least interesting part of the show.
Yeah.
So I think it's questionable, and I think it's going to be tough. I do obviously wish them the best because I love Stranger Things. But to answer your question about the prequel, it's going to be young Joyce, young Hopper, and then this young kid who they showed in season 4. They showed him as a family. Like they showed him, wandering around his house. They showed that he had powers. So like I feel like that's what they're going to go with. Like he's coming to town, the kid.
But do we need this though?
Vecna. No,
But do
we don't
we need
fucking
this?
need it. Do we
It'd
need
be
any
better-
prequel, sequel, postquel, middlequel? What I call it
Yeah,
last time
some
it
of
was
them
so
are
good.
great. Some of them
It
are
would-
great. Why not?
No, dude.
But to me, it made more sense to do it about
And if
Vecna.
you're
You know,
gonna do it, do a
Do it
show.
about Vecna.
If
You
you're
know,
gonna do it, it is about Vecna. It is about Vecna. It's about young Vecna.
is
How
that
about
really what it's about?
We're bringing in other entertainment
Yes.
professionals that want a chance to work with some of these properties and screw around a little bit. Think of the
Yeah,
opportunities for people that would like to get their hands into a new idea and play with it.
The thing is, too, though,
New ideas are like a hot potato. Nobody wants to fucking touch it. It's stupid.
the thing is, they're doing this, but they're also doing a spin-off of Stranger Things as well. There's gonna be another show they're doing too. So there's a spin-off and a stage
Well, why wouldn't they
adaptation.
make this the show?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why it doesn't make sense?
What's
But
the
you know,
spinoff going to be? Like Dusty's girlfriend, Dusty Bun? What the
It's-
fuck's her name?
I know
Timothy
I-
Q?
they haven't really said exactly what it is, but they're developing it.
The two,
Yeah.
the cokehead in college? Like, I mean, I don't get it. Like, what are
I
we
don't
doing?
know. We're gonna find out. Maybe it'll be about Dusty Muffin and his girlfriend. They're just gonna be singing like "Never-Ending Story" forever and ever and ever
I mean,
and ever.
the prequel, I feel like the prequel would be better on film, in my opinion. And it's about Vecna. It's about young Vecna. It's about them moving to the town when he was a kid before he basically murdered his family and all that shit happened.
I hope the spinoff is about that kid's hair. The kid with the hair and the dirt stash from the 3rd season. That mullet was like, that's America right there. Like,
Oh, he died though. Bobby,
Yeah.
Billy,
Yeah.
Billy.
Billy,
yeah, but-
Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's TV. You can do whatever you
I
want.
hated him so much, and then I felt bad for him when he finally died because he finally did the right thing, and then I felt bad, and I'm like, how the fuck he did one good thing, and I'm like, oh, poor Billy. I'm like, he was
That's
a
the
douchebag for 2
duffers. That's the
seasons.
duffer magic they're working on.
Duff
They
you.
get you. They get you. But this is happening, so there's no stopping it. Like I said, they'll probably have it like on, I guess it would probably be Netflix, I'd imagine, right? It'd probably be streaming on Netflix eventually. That would make sense.
Netflix actually announced the stage situation. Like they did an announcement, so I would assume that they'd be attached to it.
Yeah, that would make sense. But they didn't officially say it's going to be on Netflix. So they said it's been discussed that it would go to streaming, but it hasn't initially. But they're going to do that. Of course they're going to do that.
If Netflix made an announcement, I would doubt that they would even bother doing that, unless they had a hand in it. Like, I know that Stranger Things streams on there, but I feel like it would be kind of weird to do that and promote something that you don't know that you're going to get a kickback from. Or maybe they get a kickback anyway because they originally produced Stranger Things. I don't really know how the contract type of thing would work for that. So
yeah,
I could be wrong, but I feel like if they were going to do it, they would go with Netflix.
Well, love it or hate it, everybody. Stranger Things is coming to a stage not near you, but maybe near you if you're in London, and maybe it'll tour eventually. Maybe we'll get some Stranger Things all up in this whole country. I'm guessing go to Broadway first, and if it does well, they'll branch it out. There's a Back to the Future musical we can get a chance to talk about today, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. But that's also kind of the same world of like bringing a big loved, TV film adaptation of something to the stage and making it live action and bringing it to people a different way in a different type of form, which I think is cool. But also, like, for something like this, for me, Stranger Things, I don't think we need to have this. But maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll see it and be like, fuck yeah, this is great. But Stranger Things, The First Shadow, is coming soon to London.